Welcome, dear students, teachers, and all the stakeholders. We are here for the one-day orientation program on student and teacher relations, the online paradigm, organized by Arulmigu Palani and our College of Arts and Culture, Palani, Tamil Nadu. We all will agree that this topic is one of the most relevant in today's time. We are all going through a difficult phase in our lives, especially the students and the teachers, and the education is going through tremendous transformation. So in this, generally the student and teachers, we share a common relationship, a relationship of one of the highest order that we maintain between students and teachers. But are we able to maintain the relationships even now in the changed timings? We are now going through the online teachings. We are going for online education. So in these times, we are not having face-to-face contact with the students. We are missing their presence. The students are also missing the peer learning. They learn from other teachers and students. We miss the college culture. So in this case, how are we going to maintain or improve the relationship we had with students? So today, we are going to see what are the problems in this scenario, or let us say what are the opportunities, and how can we make the most of the opportunities. And we will discuss about teaching, we will discuss about learning, we will discuss about how it was, how it is going to be, and I am going to give you tips for improving this online relationship with the students, and I'm going to share my experiences with you. That is going to be the agenda today. So let us start. Before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Maharajan. I'm a life skills trainer. I'm a professor. I write poems in Tamil and my local language, my mother tongue Badugu of the Nilgiris Uti. I'm a researcher. I'm an international reviewer. I've got many publications in international journals like Scopus, Australian Business Council, and Web of Science, etc. I also an administrator, and I'm proud to say that I have served our nation in the Indian Air Force. So let us see. With this background, let us get into the topic of the student-teacher relations in the online world. But before that, I will ask you a basic question. Do you live your life? So many of you may say, what is there new? We are all living your life. I mean to say, are you existing in this world? Are you actually living your life? There's a lot of difference between, the difference is just like between the mountain and the valley. Are you really living? Or are you just existing on this earth? Many of us are not living, if we admit what is deep in our heart. We are existing just, but how to live a life? The word live can also be pronounced as live. We all like to see cricket matches and other things live. So same way we have to be live. Live here mean we have to be aware of each situation. We have to be aware of every second of our life. Every moment of life, we have to be aware. We have to be rejoice. What is the purpose of life otherwise? Somebody may say earning money, somebody may say getting a beautiful wife, somebody may say having children, somebody may say having a good job or a good house or a car. But to me, I hope you all will agree, the purpose of life is to be happy. Very simple. It's just one word, happy. But how we are going to be happy? What gives you happiness? We have to change according to the times. There are only two things to be happy. Only two things. One is either we have to change the world or change the circumstances accordingly to our way of liking, thinking, or else we'll have to change. to the world's way of thinking. Let us take the current situation, the COVID-19 pandemic. Are we able to change the situation outside us? Are we able to change the government regulations? Are we able to change the lockdown regulations? No. So when we are not able to change that, so what is the solution? We'll have to change ourselves. So this is the only way. We have to be happy in any case. That is the purpose of life. But remember one thing, who can change us? Can I change you? Or can you change me? No. I can only tell you, I can only motivate you, I can only guide you to change. But ultimately, the change has to come from within you. So you have to change. Only you can change yourself. Only the people, others, let it be your parents, let it be your students, teachers, we can only guide you and give you ideas. We can motivate you, that's it. But change has to begin within yourself. You will have to change for yourself. Then, as the change we are talking about, the current change that we have moved from the physical classrooms to the online world, is it a problem or opportunity? To understand, change is the only constant in this world. But to see whether to see the change that we are imposed, our colleges are closed. You can see the empty classrooms here, and this was what we were doing earlier in the classrooms. Now what we are doing is this one. Right now, what you and me are sharing is this type of classrooms. Okay, we call it a flipped classroom. What is a flipped classroom? Before that, let us see whether let us answer to the question whether the current situation is a problem or opportunity. See, I think initially we all might have seen it as a problem, but in every problem there hides an opportunity. For us, it's for us to unearth the opportunity in every problem. Like the present problem has given us to the opportunities of using online media. Now sitting here, sitting at OT, I'm able to have a knowledge sharing with you all in different parts of India, maybe abroad. So that is the opportunity which is given to us by this problem. So it is for us to take out the opportunity in every problem and do accordingly. So now coming to the other question, the flipped classroom. What is a flipped classroom? Earlier in traditional classroom, what we used to do, we used to teach as a mass, as a group. We have to teach to the group. The students as a whole, we teach them. See, there may be a student who is slow in picking up. He may not come up to the speed of the teacher. He may not cope up with the speed of the teacher. In that case, we cannot slow down that much. We just teach everybody equal. We just share everything equal to the students. It is for the students to learn. And then if any problem, then the students come to us, then we will try to solve the problem. That is the traditional way of classroom. Now in the flipped classroom, it is just the opposite. Flipped, it's opposite. How we go about it? Now first we address each student. See, let us take this one example. This video is going to be uploaded, and you are going to watch this video and enjoy for yourself. You can pause the video, you can restart, you can rewind the video, watch again if you're not understanding anything. If you like it, you can watch again and again at your own convenience, at your own flexible timings. Then after that, we are going to, in another opportunity, we are going to discuss the ideas you gathered. Then we are going to discuss, we are going to create something new out of it. If any of your doubts, you'll be able to answer. So that is way in flipped classroom, first individual students are given the materials. It's up to the students, they go through the materials, the videos. Then we again, later on, we as a group, we try to solve the problems and find a solution. So that is the flipped classroom approach. Now let us see what we are right now, what we are doing, is it teaching or learning? So sometimes we may say, many of us say it is teaching. Say teacher teaches, but I think the other way. We are all here not here to teach, we are here to learn. Even a teacher is here to learn. Until unless we learn, we cannot teach. So what is teaching or learning, by the way? I've given a simple definition: the art and science of sharing ideas, opinions, feelings, emotions, data, and information with one person or a group of people. I'll say again, the art or science of, it's both an art and a science, and sharing ideas, opinions, feelings, emotions, data, and information with one person or a group of people. But again, is it teaching or learning? Let us see. I will show you two approaches. What is teaching? What is learning? We'll talk about the ethics and value systems also. So teaching, when we look at this process as teaching, it's a top-down approach. In management, we call it top-down approach, which comes from the top, which comes from the teacher to the students. You can observe, you can see in the picture, the teacher is sitting and trying to teach something. Look at the students. They are not that active. Some of them may be showing little interest, but they are not that active. So it is teaching is a top-down approach. The teacher is trying to give the knowledge to the students, and whether the students are, how much the students are going to grasp that knowledge, that's a question. Now, in contrast, what is learning? Okay, learning is the bottom-up approach we call. It goes from this, just look at the student, how enthusiastic they are. Okay, this is the way of actual learning, and see the teacher, how enthusiastic, again the teacher. Okay, it just goes to the students. So this we call learning, the bottom-up approach. The learning, the quest for learning, it has come from students. It goes up. Students should ask for more knowledge, and teachers should be able to give. That's what it is. But every student, let us remember, every student cannot understand in the same way. So we have to customize the offering to the students. Now, when we are talking about teachers and students, let us understand what is the relationship between them. That is the main topic of our today's discussion, isn't it? So let us see what is the relationship between students and teachers. So here is the Venn, the mathematical students, you may know what is, even other ways, other people know what is the Venn diagram of student-teacher relations. Okay, then again, it can be pronounced as Venn also. When is it? So we all, as teachers, generally what we think, the teachers think that we should have expertise in a content, that is in our subject area. We should have the expertise, we should have the knowledge. Many teachers think that's enough to have the knowledge, but is it enough? No. But many students also, they think that the subject would be relevant to them. But nowadays, most of the students, even many of them, they are not joining the course of their interest. So they are not finding it relevant. But even let us assume that students are finding it relevant to the content. If students find the relevance to the content, to the subject, to the course, that is good. But more importantly, the relationship between student and teachers, that relationship must be carried out in a very well-disciplined manner. Then the relationship is very important. In a teacher, in addition to the expertise in the subject area, should have a good relationship with students. And students also, in addition to having interest in the content, interest in the subject, they should have good relationship with the teacher. See, let us see here, yes, students don't need to learn, don't lead us. Sometimes they do not lead the teacher to learn. See, nowadays, you know, the Google and other things, they are able to get, students are able to get information from many sources. But then what is the role of a teacher here? A teacher has to make a meaningful relationship with the students. So that gives us the power and the energy to teach them. So that is how the student learn better. Okay, then for students, let's again understood, teachers will not do everything for you. If all these things are satisfied, then in the middle we find meaningful engagement. That is meaningful relationship among teachers and students. But remember, teachers will only open the doors for you. You have to enter yourself. In other words, teachers will offer all the things to you. You have to use. That's why nowadays we find the role of a teacher is that of facilitators. We make all the possible small ideas that student has to learn for themselves. That is the modern concept of teaching learning. Now let us see how the traditional concept and modern concept, how do they differ? Traditionally, our relationship, that is the student-teacher relationship, were based on through communications. So there were 6 tips for effective communication. Let us see the traditional approach. Is it applicable to the modern times? Is it applicable to the online education? how much it is applicable, and if it is not, what are the solutions that we are going to see now. Now, let us see the first tip of traditional relationship through communication says, be conscious that your emotions will show through. A teacher and student they have to be conscious that their emotions will show to each other. Now in the present world, are we able to do that? We are lucky through this medium, at least you are able to see my video. And in many online classes, the students and teachers do not see each other, do not see the video of each other because of bandwidth limitations, internet connectivity, we have all other issues. So that we are not able to show our emotions to the extent we were showing in the traditional face-to-face classrooms. That we will see next. I'll give you all tips for how to overcome all this. Now the second step says, vary your voice, tone, and pitch. A teacher, while communicating, has to change our way they communicate. We should not be talking at a flat tone. We should change our voice, change our pitch with emotions. That to some extent we are able to do in the online class also. But then again, there are limitations. We are not able to show our body language. That is the other language. For information, I also conduct sessions on body language. Then the third thing comes, if you want people to accept your ideas, share them with enthusiasm. But do we get the same enthusiasm? Even in traditional classrooms, sometimes we find it difficult to get enthusiasm because of various factors. Maybe because of the workload, because of other problems. All we are now trying to find the enthusiasm. But in online world, without seeing face to face, just talking to a machine, talking to a computer, are we able to get that much enthusiasm? So that's the question. So how to get that enthusiasm? I will give you the tips. Next, the fourth point says, be aware of the gestures and the impact that that the students or other person have. So how do we get aware of? See, luckily I'm able to show you some gestures through my hand, but our full body we are not able to see in the online classroom. So how to be aware of our gestures? Again, there are limitations. Then remember the old saying, look them in the eye. The eye contact in communication is very, very important. It's also for relationship, the eye contact is very, very important. But even in the traditional time, we were finding it sometimes difficult to maintain the eye contact with the students. But now, how to look the students in the eye? Even the students just look as dots in my computer. Okay, sometimes I'm able to see their video in very rare cases. Otherwise, I'm just able to see their photos or their display pictures, or sometimes it is just a letter or S, A, B, something like that. Then how do I maintain eye contact with them? So that's a real challenge in the online world. Now again, the last point says, study the gestures and others and listen to their tone. So how to again study the gestures, how to read their body language and how to listen to their tone. In fact, they are chatting something, they are writing something. So how to know their tone? It's very difficult. So having understood all these, the limitations, now we will see how to overcome the limitations. I'm going to give you 5 tips, 5 effective tips for managing the online student-teacher relationships. Let us see one by one. The first is mutual trust between student and teachers. See, this is very important. Even in the traditional time, it was important. Now it is more and more important. See, by taking a class, the teacher feels the student on the other side is active. But are we really active? Sometimes the student just switch on the computer. Their attention may be something else. They may be checking their phone or WhatsApp on social media or something, or they may be looking at something else, or they may be switched on, or they may not be physically present there. Then that is where we should have the mutual trust. Okay, the teachers, we believe the students are attentive on the other side, but it is the role of the students here. The role of the students is very important here. You must trust the teacher and you must be trustworthy. You must be available. When the computer shows you are online, you must be online. You must be mentally, physically, you must be present. So that is very, very important in the mutual trust that between them. It's very, very important for the student and teacher relations. We should not breach that trust at any cost. The second point is discipline plus punctuality equal to confidence. See, whenever we attend an online class, what we have to do, we have to be disciplined. Discipline means first thing we have to be come in time. As we come for our traditional classrooms, we have to be on time, at least 5 minutes early. We should connect, we should check our connections, we should make everything fine. In the traditional times, we say it is we come late, we say we blame the traffic, now we blame the internet. So we should not do that. What we have to do, we have to be in time, we have to make sure prior, we have to make sure in advance our systems are working well, our connection is good on things. Again, suppose the class is at 9 o'clock, you just should not just get up at 10:30 or just 5 minutes early, and you should not come and sit in class. You should attend online classes the way you had been attending your face-to-face classes. You must get up in time, you must clean yourself, you must dress yourself, you should have the proper food, then you should be attending. To the extent possible, choose a place in your home which is noise free, which the background is good, where you feel confident. See, there should not be somebody walking at the back and other things. Choose a good place, preferably good lighting, other things. That gives you confidence. When you're confident enough, you will interact with the student. Even it's applicable for student teachers also. We will interact with each other with a confidence note. So that enhances our confidence. That enhances our relationships actually. Sometimes I ask a student to switch on his camera. They are not in a position to do because they are not in a presentable shape. That should not happen. So we have to gain the confidence. So that is discipline and punctuality are very important. Next, genuine involvement and energetic. We should love the student. We should be genuinely involved with the students. And in a traditional class, we can be energetic, but how to show our energetic in a online class? It is just through our voice. If it is it is video, it's fine. If otherwise it is only voice. Just through our voice we can transfer the energy from one side to another side. That energy gives the student that the teacher is really interested in us, really involved in our teaching. So that gives us, that builds up our confidence, that builds up our relationships, the genuine involvement and interest. It's applicable for teachers and students. Next is the empathy for each other. In the new normal, we call the online classes due to the lockdown induced by COVID-19 pandemic and all. This is called new normal. We have to have empathy for each other. What do you mean by empathy? Empathy means trying to see things from other person's point of view. In other words, it is told getting into the other person's shoes. We have to see, we have to understand the things from each other. Suppose a student is having some problem with the internet and others, or some problem at his home. This teacher should have the empathy, should have the understanding. And it is again for the students. The teacher may be finding it something difficult with the technology, because most of the teachers, they are technology migrants. And the students, you are all technology natives, you born with the technology. If the teacher is finding something difficult with the technology, students should be helped. Students to help them. So we should help each other. We should have the understanding for each other. We should try to find the problems and solve the problems from other person's point of view. So that's a good thing here. If you are able to do that, then it is fine. Next is visualize the actual classroom and college. When we are here, like a meeting, just visualize that we are sitting in actual college with our all friends and our teacher, and it's nice. It's going to be a wonderful session. So that way you can just visualize. We have got the wonderful power of imagination. You can visualize, and then it's a little conversation that builds the relationship between students and teachers. We can have some extra conversations. Like one of my students interested in photography, I just teach something to her about photography. Or else, if I do not know, then I can give her some guide her to get some interesting things. Like I can share a webinar link to her on photography. So that is the way, that simple things, we just converse with them, just help them. That goes a long way in our relationship. So these are the 5 tips I give you for enhancing student-teacher relationships. Now next, who is a ideal teacher? Okay, some of you might have read the story of Teddy, that is Dr. Theodore, and his teacher, Mrs. Thompson, okay, how the relationship went between them. Okay, you can go through the story. Because of time constraints, I may not be telling the story in full. In fact, the Teddy was a bright student. Then he became a dull student because his mother died. Then his teacher, fifth standard teacher, comes to know that. Then their relationship builds. Then the boy is is a good relation with the teacher. He thanks her at every time. Then finally, he becomes a doctor. Then in his marriage, he invites his teacher at the place of his mother. So that's how goes their relationship. You can search the Google about this, the story of Teddy, and you can go through it. So who is the ideal teacher? See, the ideal teacher is one who finds happiness in seeing his or her students grow. See, remember, there are only three relationships in this world who are not jealous of your student's development. Okay, one is your father, other is your mother, the third is the teacher. Not even your brothers and sisters. Take me for granted. When you grow, the teacher is like a ladder. He just stands at one place, he or she. You climb, the students climb up the ladder and go. And the teacher will be very much happy to see you in a position, better position than the teacher. So that is the power. Only your parents will see that. Next is teachers. Understand this relationship. So we should learn from everybody. I learn from everybody. I learn from even my students. I learn from even my children. So we should have learned first to teach, then we should teach so that we can learn. And our relationship should continue. We should be mentoring for life. So we should respect the students, and again vice versa, students should respect the teachers also. Okay, if we put the relationship first, then we have a teacher for life. I will just share some of my experiences. So first is, let me begin with my gurus. First, I pay my respects to my teachers. See, I'm not going to paying means I'm not going to pay them money or anything. I respect them, love them, care them. Even my second standard as teacher onwards, to the extent I remember. Okay, so recently we had a reunion sort of thing in my high school where I studied up to my 8th standard. So we invited our teachers, all of us, our old classmates. We got together, invited teachers. We respected them, we cared them, we actually cherished their love. We shared a lot. It is a wonderful experience. I just cannot forget in my life. So that is how it is. I drive my inspirations from my teachers. Next, I'll share you some of the testimonials. See, I got PhD degree and other degrees. They are not that great. The testimonials, what I got from my students as a teacher. See, one of my students, he completed his MBA. I think it was his last day. When he was going out college, I just got a SMS that time. Okay, that time WhatsApp thing were not existing. He just sent me a SMS. It says, "Sir, you are the best guru of my life." That student was not that bright student. People used to sometimes make fun of him, but I had to actually sometimes be rough with him also to correct him, to make him on track. But he remembered me. He says, "You are the best guru." So that gives me the satisfaction. That's what drives me. Okay. Then another student, he goes out, and then one day calls me and tells me, "Sir, he told in the class, then fine day, that what I told him, sometimes I may forget, but he won't." I told the students, "See, you have to learn. There are only two ways you can learn. Either you can learn in the college or you can learn in the real world. In college, you can commit trial and error, you can learn. But if you are in the real world, you will be kicked around to learn. So choice is yours." That was I used to tell. So he realized, he was trying to start a business. Then he realized my words, because he didn't learn that much in college. So he was learning it the hard time in the real world. So he just told, "Sir, I still remember your words," what he told. Then the other student is in Maldives, right? Right now, he calls me, he just sends me a message from there. "Sir, you have gone once out of your way for helping me. I still remember, sir." So that is how things are. So we become just the part of my heart. And for those interested in chemistry, so what is the student-teacher relationships? Okay, the students are like reactant and the teachers are the catalyst. We won't change. But and the product is what actually you become, it depends on you. As I told you, teachers are only facilitators. You have to build your life. No significant learning can occur without a significant relationship. Let us understand that. So in essence, friends, let us revise what we have seen today. I hope all of you are benefited. So we started with what is the purpose of life. Really, it is to be happy, but not at the cost of others. We should not cause grievance to others. Then we should enjoy. We should enjoy of our own. So only you can change yourself. You can change your life. Then we have seen what is a flipped classroom. Is it a problem or opportunity? We find the opportunities in the flipped classroom. Then next, we have seen what is teaching or learning. And then we have seen what is the top-down approach, what is the bottom-up approach, what is the difference between teaching and learning. Then we have gone through all the student-teacher relationships, how it should be. Then we have gone through the traditional way of effective teaching, effective communication, what are the drawbacks, are they applicable in the present world? And we have seen, I've given you 5 tips for improving our online relationships. First is mutual trust. Next is discipline and punctuality equal to confidence. Third is genuine involvement and energetic and empathy for each other. Try to see things from other person's point of view. Then visualize the actual classroom and college that we can do. Then I have shared some of my experiences. See, let us see whether I have applied all the concepts. Generally, I preach what I practice. Okay, let us see whether I have followed all this in this class, just as a case study. So again, coming from top, so all students do not actually learn equally. First, I thanked the organizers for this. Then I told about myself. Okay, we should know each other. Then I told about the purpose of life. So make you all comfortable. It's something like we call icebreakers. Then what is flipped classroom? Those who are technology oriented, for them it satisfies their technological desire, technology hungry. Then the change management, and those who learn things through definition, for them I gave them a definition. And those who learn through pictures, some students they learn through pictures, I gave them pictures of learning what is top-down approach, what is the bottom-up approach. Okay, then again, some people understand diagrams better. Okay, for the Venn diagram, something those who are interested in mathematics or field, for them I gave this so that you will be interested, you will be able to try to find something for you here. And for those who are interested in quotations, I gave them the quotations. And again, for those who still find the traditional things are good, for them I gave what are the drawbacks or good things of the traditional system. Then how to overcome the system, how to overcome the problems, how to balance the systems. So I gone through all this, and we have gone through again those who like to study things through equations to satisfy their hunger, or we can say their quest for knowledge. I made a equation. And then again, for those who like to study things through a story, so I gave them a story for this. And again, I gave them experiences. Those who like to listen to others through experiences, I gave them experiences. And those who are interested in chemistry, for them I gave a chemical way of realizing today's potential. So these are friends. Now, I'm sure you can ask yourself whether you are living or not. Okay, if not, after this session, are you really living? I hope you're all living now. Now, as an activity, what you can do along with other feedbacks, you can share either a video or a audio clipping of according to your convenience. You can share with us so that we can enjoy that. Thank you very much. Meet you soon. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.